Hello and welcome to the Macula. Today, we will discuss the history, currency used before dollar, comparison with gold, design, why world trade oil in dollar, how much dollar can the USA print, and the future of the dollar. Before that, make sure you press the red subscribe button, which is no more red. Because subscribing the Macula will clear your vision to see the world. Before the dollar, various currencies were used in the United States, including Spanish pesos and British pounds. The US dollar was created in 1792 when the US Congress passed the Coinage Act, which established the US Mint and authorized the production of the US dollar as the country's official currency. The need for a national currency arose from the difficulties the U.S. faced in conducting trade and commerce with other countries using a variety of foreign currencies and a patchwork of regional and colonial currencies. Prior to the creation of the U.S. dollar, the various colonies and states in the U.S. had issued their own currencies, which were often not widely accepted or trusted outside their borders. This made it difficult for merchants and traders to conduct business across state lines or with foreign countries, as they had to exchange their local currency for the currency of the place they were doing business. The situation was further complicated by the fact that there was no unified system of weights and measures in the U.S., so even when two parties agreed on the value of a transaction, they might not agree on the quantity or quality of the goods being exchanged. To address these problems, the U.S. government decided to create a national currency that would be widely accepted and trusted, and would provide a uniform standard of value and exchange. The U.S. dollar was based on the Spanish milled dollar, which had been widely used in trade with the Americas for centuries and was considered a stable and reliable currency. The U.S. government also established a decimal system of currency, with 100 cents equaling $1. Which made calculations and transactions easier and more standardized. The design of the U.S. dollar notes, with its portraits of U.S. presidents and iconic national symbols like the bald eagle, also helped to establish the currency's identity and significance. In the decades that followed the creation of the U.S. dollar, the currency became increasingly important in international trade and finance. The U.S. emerged as a major economic power in the 20th century, and the U.S. dollar became the dominant currency for international trade and investment. Today, the U.S. dollar is still the most widely used currency in the world, and is a symbol of American power and influence. The dollar has had an interesting relationship with gold throughout history. From 1879 until 1933, the U.S. dollar was pegged to gold, meaning that the value of the dollar was tied to the value of gold. In 1933, President Franklin D. Roosevelt ended the gold standard and prohibited private ownership of gold. In 1971, President Nixon ended the Bretton Woods Agreement, which made the dollar a fiat currency, meaning that its value is not backed by gold or any other physical commodity. Coming to the design again, the design of the dollar has gone through various changes over the years. The front of each bill features a portrait of a famous American, such as George Washington on the $1 bill and Abraham Lincoln on the $5 bill. The back of each bill features a different design, such as the Great Seal of the United States on the $1 bill and the Lincoln Memorial on the $5 bill. The US dollar has become the world's dominant currency, and one reason for this is that it is the currency used for international trade in oil. In 1973, the U.S. made a secret agreement with Saudi Arabia to use the dollar as the currency for oil transactions. This agreement has since been extended to other countries in the Middle East, and as a result, the dollar has become the currency of choice for international oil transactions. The U.S. government can print as much money as it wants, but doing so can lead to inflation and other economic problems. The amount of money in circulation is controlled by the Federal Reserve, which can increase or decrease the money supply by adjusting interest rates and buying or selling government bonds. The amount of money that the U.S. government can print is essentially limitless, but it must be careful not to print too much, as this can lead to hyperinflation. Looking to the future, the U.S. dollar will likely remain the dominant currency in the world, but it may face increasing competition from other currencies, such as the euro and the Chinese yuan. The U.S. government's increasing debt and the Federal Reserve's policy of low interest rates could weaken the dollar's position in the future. Additionally, the COVID-19 pandemic has had a significant impact on the global economy, including the value of the U.S. dollar. The Federal Reserve has implemented policies to support the economy, including lowering interest rates and increasing the money supply through quantitative easing. These policies have weakened the value of the dollar in the short term, but they have also helped to prevent a more severe economic downturn. In recent years, some countries have sought to reduce their reliance on the U.S. dollar for international trade. For example, China has been promoting the use of its currency, the yuan, in international trade and investment. Additionally, some countries have been exploring the use of digital currencies, which could potentially challenge the dominance of the U.S. dollar in the future. Despite these challenges, the U.S. dollar is still the most widely used currency in the world, and it is likely to remain so for the foreseeable future. The United States has a strong economy, a stable political system, and a well-developed financial infrastructure, all of which contribute to the dollar's dominance. One potential risk to the future of the U.S. dollar is the increasing debt of the U.S. government. The U.S. government has been running large budget deficits for many years, which has led to a significant increase in the national debt. If the U.S. government is unable to manage its debt, it could lead to a loss of confidence in the dollar and a decline in its value. Another risk is the potential for geopolitical instability or conflict. If there were to be a major conflict involving the United States, it could undermine confidence in the U.S. economy and the dollar. Additionally, if other countries were to challenge the dominance of the U.S. dollar, it could lead to increased competition and potentially destabilize the global financial system. In conclusion, the U.S. dollar has a fascinating history, and it has become the most widely used currency in the world. Its value is not tied to gold, but rather the strength of the U.S. economy and the confidence people have in the U.S. government. The design of the dollar is a reflection of American history and culture. The dollar is also used for international trade in oil, which has helped to cement its position as the world's dominant currency. The U.S. government can print as much money as it wants, but must be careful not to print too much. The future of the dollar is uncertain, but it will likely face increasing competition from other currencies. That's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe for more amazing videos. See you in next video.